was going to ask a question.
Yeah, well, it moves us on to what Zirkzee Mount conversation. And again, Flex, I don't know if you're agreeing with the thing about rating players and then trust. I don't know if you've let that go now, because there was many weeks. There was many weeks when we spoke about, he does rate the players. He just doesn't trust them over other players. And clearly, if we go by his words, you've used his quotes a lot when you're talking about him changing the system and stuff. I'd think you'd use his same quotes when he does say, he really rates what he did in a game, not just from goal scoring, but the other stuff. So are you willing to admit that?
And I think it's
are you willing to admit?
I've adjusted it.
Sorry,
I think it's.
I'm just finishing my statement. Are you willing to admit that you were wrong?
Is it a statement or a question? I don't know which.
Still not letting him finish either. Still not letting him finish, which is wild.
Are you willing to admit that you was wrong, going by how you've, spoken in the past?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Because I stand by what I meant. What I meant is still true, which is that if he had his way, i.e. when all the players are fit, he doesn't rate him when they're fit. And we've seen that by all of the team selections.
Zirkzee?
The reason why Zirkzee is playing is because there has been no Cunha and there has been no Šeško. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got an opportunity. The same way if Kobbie Mainoo, the same way how he doesn't rate or trust Kobbie Mainoo, if Bruno, if Casemiro and Ugarte got injured tomorrow, Kobbie Mainoo would play. Does that mean all of a sudden he's just now?
Can I ask a question? And this is to anyone in the panel, because Flex seems to want to lack common sense. Isn't injuries part of it? Rotation, part of football. So and he's kept this play. So why are you acting as if he expects there's going to be injuries? Cunha can get injured. Šeško can get injured, but he's kept this player as a part of his squad because he believes he can use him. Which means
did he keep his player as part of his squad because he didn't get no one else to replace him?
He would have got the Rasmus Højlund boot. He would have got the other players that have been booted out. But he said, hey, I see you as a... And then he ain't even letting him go in Jan as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is then if there was a better option, we wouldn't take it because he trusts him. That's what you're saying. So you're saying to me, if in the summer we could have Zirkzee wanted to go to Bologna or Juve and we could have gone and got a different player who Amorim fancied more. What you're saying to me is because he rates Zirkzee so much, you would say, do not leave this football because I want you here. Is that what you're telling me?
Let's just judge him what he's doing now.
I think that can be said for a lot of players. I think that can be said for a lot of players.
No, wait there. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That can be said for a lot of players.
The actions, yeah. Judge him
a lot that he's made. He didn't want him to leave because he thinks he's so good.
Judge him for the actions that he's made. The last summer, a lot
of players at Man United would probably rather have...
Zirkzee could have been gone. Zirkzee could be gone, and he's still here. He had the option to clear out. Does
he still rate Ugarte? Does he still rate Ugarte because he's still here? Can someone ask me that?
What do you mean about rate, though? Like, what's the word rate mean? Like, how are you going to rate something?
Well, do you know what? I'm glad you
got criticised for this.
I'm glad, James. I'm glad
because I think of it like a scale here. Like, let's say he sees Zirkzee as a 6. Well, yeah, if you offer him a 7, he's taking the 7 over the 6. Yeah. But he still looks at him like, well, a 6 is usable.
That's what I said, James.
Højlund was a 3 or a 2.
And Højlund was a 3, so he said,
That's what me and KG we said. If you say he doesn't rate him, that to me says he's got nothing to offer this team, and you might as well get rid of him because he's got nothing. It's an element of trust, or like, if you want to say rates, it's about I think this player is better than him. But if he didn't rate him, then he wouldn't have played towards the end of last season. And if he wasn't injured, he'd have started that Europa League final because he rates him more than he rates Højlund.
Well, I mean, it's a silly question. If we signed Mbappe, would he be starting or Šeško?
That's why
that was my point when you said Flex about if he could have got someone else, then he would have sold him. That could probably be said for every player in the Man United team. I'm sure there's someone out there that he would rather have than the player that's actually in the squad. I mean, he plays Dallo all the time, but I'm sure there's wing backs out there he'd rather have instead of Dallo.
No, it's because he's his cousin
or whoever. Well, related.
Just saying, anyhow, Zirkzee is not in that starting lineup. That actually will be really bad on him as well. By the way, I actually agree with that. Yeah. That will be bad. And to me, it would show that, like,
you were right. To me, you were right.
No. It just shows that.
Flex.
No, do you know what it is? Do you know what my thing is? My thing is, obviously, I'm quite comfortable with the term like not rate. I don't take it to the nth term of like, oh, I think you're a piece of shit on the bottom of my shoe. So like, no, but what I'm saying is the misconception of like when you say if I say the manager don't rate the guy, everyone thinks it means like I don't like him, get him out my cup. When I say don't rate, I mean in our whole squad of what we have, when everyone's fit, he ain't playing him. That to me means you're not rated. To me, you're only playing because 2 men are injured in your position. Same with Kobe. Kobe, to me, right now, you can say what you want, but when you pick the team, when you make the subs, more often than not, I'm not turning to you. Not trusted, not rated. To me, they're one of the same thing. And I'm just saying Zirkzee is not rated as much as people think the manager rates him. Otherwise, he would have played a lot more. There's been games where man's an unused sub when we need a goal. Obviously, I don't trust you. I don't rate you. Same thing. That's my point. Obviously, when we're at bare bones and he has to play 2 games in a row, he's going to get a chance. We pay him probably 80 grand a week. That still doesn't mean, ideally, I rate you. That's what I think people are getting confused. But listen,
to KG's question earlier on, you haven't moved on from the rate, trust.
No. To his question earlier on is, have I changed my mind or do I apologize? And I said no.
Yeah.
He didn't say have I moved on. He asked me, do I want to change my mind? I said,
okay,
no.
I'll ask you. Have you moved on from it?
I have now because I've said what I need to say. And you lot better hope he's starting. I hope he's starting.